In this video, we will look at how to enter our student data. At the home page, you'll identify the navigation bar on the left-hand side of the screen. You will click on Needs Assessment. That will open a drop-down box. This is where you will find student data, self-assessment, accountability goals, and your prioritized focus areas. We will focus in on student data. Clicking Student Data. This will generate a page with 6 green banners. As you look at these 6 green banners, underneath the top banner in blue that states Student Data Goal Setting, you'll see a banner for Student Achievement. Adjacent to that, you'll identify that it has 0 of 4 areas complete, meaning there are 4 areas to complete here to be sure that you are in compliance with this particular section. Beneath that, you have academic growth. There are 2 areas to complete here. Next, the third green banner is Closing the Gaps, Focus 1. There's 1 area to complete here. Then you have Closing the Gaps, Focus 2. Again, there is 1 area to complete here. The bottom 2 banners in green are Closing the Gaps for Focus 3 and 4. These 2 areas are optional. Along the left-hand side of each one of these banners is a white plus sign. That plus sign will expand that section so that you may work in and save your changes. To orient you to what is on the screen here, in the dark blue and light blue, that format repeats itself through the 4 sections that you will complete for student achievement. You may select the grade level, either all or individual grade levels that you would like to enter in. This one is grayed out for reading, so the information we'll be entering here will be for reading. You will notice that your information for the 2021 results are already generated, and the 22 results will be generated here as well. For Cycle 1 goals, if we look across here, you have formative assessment type. This is a drop-down box where you may select the formative assessment type that you would like to collect your formative goals on. You will enter in the approaches, meets, and masters goals that your team determines are appropriate. For your 2023 accountability goal column, you will enter in your student count as well as your summative goals for approaches, meets, and masters. Be sure that as you have entered your Cycle 1 goals, including the formative assessment and your formative goal, approaches, meets, and masters, that you have done the same thing for your Cycle 2 goals, your formative assessment, and your formative goals for approaches, meets, and masters. You will repeat that process throughout your plan. Once I've entered information in, looking at mathematics, I can select my grade levels. I will notice that the information here will mirror the same process as in the above reading section. I will enter in my data that I will need here. For the sake of the video, will enter in just a few numbers so that you may get the idea. And then I will click the green disk icon here where it says Save to save my changes. Before I save my changes, it says Unsaved Changes in red at the top of that particular section. I will click Save, and then at the very top of the page, in a green pop-up, it will state that my item was successfully saved. You will repeat this process throughout your student achievement. For academic growth, you do not need to select a grade level, as you will see that the areas you do not need to select are grayed out. The areas that you will enter information will allow you to document that information in those places. Once you have entered your information in, you will identify the green Save Discus icon so that you can save that information. Just noting, you will see your percentage of students that did not meet, approaches, meets, and masters. You will have an opportunity to enter in your formative 1 for goal for cycles 1 and 2, as well as a summative goal. For closing the gaps, you have 2 focus areas that you will enter in. You will have a drop-down box to select which focus area you will choose here. You'll have an area of a drop-down box for your student groups. one for your grade levels, either all or select grade level. You will have a drop-down box for the summative assessment subject tested. You will notice areas for 2022 and 21 results, an area for target, and an area for gap. Some areas for data may populate. You will notice that those areas are grayed out in your plan. However, for areas that are not grayed out, you should enter that data manually. You will also notice that you have an area for your 22 participation rate and cycle 1 and 2 goals. You have a drop down for your formative assessment type, and you have an area to enter in your formative goal for cycle 1 and cycle 2 and your summative goal. When save is ready, you may click save. Again, I hope that this video has been helpful.